curve for a fourth consecutive session. That by 3 basis points. The two just short of 4.1%, anchored around 440, down from around 450. Looking ahead to
worked far too hard yesterday. You stuck around long enough. We did catch some nice trades, but not interested in trading up there today. And if you're here, Elizabeth, I hope you're okay. Genuinely, I hope you're okay. I'm sure you had a terrible day yesterday. You scream and shout a little bit. I hope you're all right. I really mean that. I'm not being an arsehole. I genuinely mean that. Okay, but yeah, same story. Right, you can see building out liquidity. Downside pressure. Failed to break lower here yet. All right, there's your downside pressure. So we'll be looking to see if they reject 85s or up here 400s. All right, do we see this or this, or are we going to see a reclaim and back into this? All right, it's the same kind of story here on the ES. But spiders. Again, coming into some key levels. I'll just draw this out so it's a bit cleaner. All right, that's what you're looking at. That, trade the edge of that, fade the edge of that. If they reclaim it, they can rotate back up the hip, and there is downside pressure right now. All right, so all pops to fail this morning, ideally. Qs, same story. Weakness, okay, because semis have finally let go. MAGA trading inside, we're going to go over all of that. All right, this is a story right here. And then one here. All right, you'd want Qs to protect these. It's simple, isn't it? You want Qs to protect these. You do not want to come back above 714s. It might be that it has to come up to 714, 715, but you certainly don't want it back above that. All right. Okay, let's go broader market. Dixie. All right, coming back in for the back test. Holding up okay so far. What we're waiting for is to see, and this would be a big sign for the market, if the dollar holds this level. If we see that, I think you're going to see a crack in the market. VIX is back up to the 20s. All right, so there's the bounce. We did talk about this bounce. Once we had this drive, all right, I said to you, probably needs relief. Right, we're probably not just going to melt down. We'll probably see this trade back into here. We're in big volatility range here. 17 to 20s, 20s breakout, gets up to 22s. Worth keeping an eye on that. This is highly volatile, all right? 20s and up, very, very volatile. We do have gap fill still potential there towards 24s if they really want to get going. All right, next thing I want to look at is semis. Right, you'll see they're weak. After all that bullshit that they did yesterday, holding it up and holding it up and holding it up, all right? So all the options traders held it up, held it up, held it up. We get to glow back to see her. All right, right back down into here. So we don't really want to be short down here. Again, you need semis, pops to fail. Under here is where you get more weakness. So far, they're holding up pretty good. Software, all right, want to be careful of this. Trading inside 50% at midpoint of yesterday's range. All right, it's starting to go sideways. If they don't get this breakdown soon, you're going to see relief back to 86s. It's worth being aware of. Go through the mag quickly. Apple, weak. All right, big sell day yesterday off that news. All right, supply of chips going to cost them too much money, so they're increasing their prices. All right, Xbox just did the same with Microsoft. So here's your range. They break out of that, more weakness. Amazon, same kind of story. All right, if they break down from this, more weakness, otherwise trading inside. Google, midpoint of yesterday's range. If you think about that, we're just at the mid. Right, nothing to do there. Meta, same kind of story. All right, look at that snapback and then just settle down here. That's not a good look for bulls. All right, they would need it back above this for any chance. That snapback and sell is a bad look. Microsoft, again, inside yesterday's range, starting potentially compression there, compression relief. That's your over under whether they can get back up here, but again, it doesn't look great right now. Again, same news as Apple already. Nvidia, weak. All right, there's your big sell. Right, and if you zoom out higher time frame Nvidia, you're starting to fail. Right, you're starting to lose. Let's clean this up and go higher time frame. Right, you've started to lose up here, 200s. You're coming back down to where we broke out of. So 190 is key. Or if they lose 190s, it's going to be a giant fell breakout. 174s was our old level from what I remember. 174s, and now we have a new edge at 165. So if they're not able to hold 190s, we're going to trade right back through all this with a giant failed breakout. And if that is the leader on semiconductors, we'll have to see what happens. Okay, folks, so that's pretty much most of it that I'm looking at. We can look at some of these broader names. Let's just have a look over here. Please. Just want to check move really quickly. Back a bit. That looks good. Boy. That's good. I don't know if you lot can hear that. She's the joker. Wants to be a trader. Don't give up your day job, darling. Okay. All right, here we go, folks. All right, so ideally, we either reject this grey box, we see a fail breakout here, but really nice area would be up here. I'm not sure if I'm willing to play this. I'll consider it. I'd much rather stay sell side if we can come up there. That's what I'm thinking to me. My head, can I stay sell side? If we get up there. I see it's going to be very volatile, a bit like yesterday. And now I understand how much rebalancing is taking place in the Ys. And also, as we've talked about forever on here, the ever-ending divergence with the capex spend of MAG, getting them slammed to the floor, but the people they're spending on continuing to hold the market up. It's absolutely insane. It's insane. It's Friday. We want to go nice and easy. We had a great week. Yesterday was a bit more tricky, but we've had a great week. This is a breakout month for me. It'll be one of my best months ever. So let's not do anything silly on a Friday. Last Friday of the month, we've got a couple of days next week. It'll be a great month. I will be trading some evals after I lost all those evals and funded next nonsense the other week. So I'll try and get some more fundeds for next week now. I'm going to see if we can get, I don't know, up to 10 Apex accounts or something funded and a couple more funded next and stuff like that. And we'll see. All right, here we go, folks. And again, we'll warn you straight away. Instantly, I've got warnings on Bookmap. It cannot handle the amount of order flow going through right now. An instant warning on Bookmap saying for me to stop putting so many indicators on. I don't have any on. All right, so that's your first warning shot there from the order flow. Okay, failing grey box. We'll see if we stay heavy outside of this or not. So if we're going to go straight old reclaim and back inside. And it looks heavy, back to down to previous day low here. It's a big level here for the market to make a decision. Trying to defend the previous day low. Here they are, they're here again. And if they lose this, we can start washing. If they keep holding previous day low, which is this green line, we get back into this grey box. It's going to be nice and patient here, folks, this morning. ES looks weak. Semi's holding a bid so far. I'll give you a readout on the MAG. Apple pretty much flat, just gone slightly green on the day. Amazon 0.25% up. Google 1.30% down. Meta pretty much flat, just about red. Microsoft 1% down. Nvidia almost 2% down. Tesla 1.25% down. Equal weighted 1/3% down. Again, semi weak here, back into lows of day, back to the previous day low here, rejecting point of control, Globex point of control just rejected again. So they are at the moment selling that grey box. Now it's a bit early, but we'll watch it. I would much rather have a short position way up here today or a poke above and then a fail than do much around here. Here they come. So they're holding previous day low. Let's see if they can get through point of control. If they can, there's the potential to lift up. Let's just read that up here. I'm going to take this off and put some new volume on for the New York session. No, that's not what I want. There we go. Okay, let's see if they can lift this above the grey box and fail, or above the grey box and hold will be a long to go all the way up there. So we're going to look for sort of a poke above and a fail, or into gex and fail, or this. I'd much rather be downside. We just want to wait and see. So New York Open failing there. It's notable. Back to previous day low. You can see the chop started already. We're already rotating 50, 60, 70 points numerous times here. They're trying to sell these lows now. ES is still holding the bid, and we are into those 220 levels on semis. If those let go, I'm interested in the sell. I have the piece on here versus previous day low. I need this to start washing though. I will not let this come back above previous day low. Okay, so I'm short small size here versus 290s. If we start accelerating away like this, I'll try and start adding it. Need to break lower day now, so we're coming, rejecting grey box, rejecting point control into lows. Right, I'll cover a bit here, and if we can accelerate through this, I'm going to look for the low side of this blue box and potentially all the way down here. I'd be surprised if they do this at the start of the day. I'd be very surprised they don't build up more liquidity. But look at semis getting absolutely flat right now, those 220s. I'll add if we break and stay heavy. If we break down, back test and stay heavy. So looking good so far. Nice. Really nice. Right, imbalance here. I'm covering a little piece more here. See if we can get Globex lows now. Beautiful to start the day. Beautiful to start the day. You pops up here now, really. Will we take that low out? We can get some more size on before we hit the low hanging fruit. Okay, a bit higher. And I'll watch all the way up to 270s. Low. This is where I got caught yesterday trying to add into winners. Be careful here. So hit. Your ROI worries. Spend smarter. Snapchat. Since the dawn of time, man has been plagued by itch and irritation from not wiping fully clean because he was relying on the dry stuff. Well, past couple of recaps. Okay. That's to do the watch live. Okay. To get the best bang for your buck, to get the best experience, that's the watch live. I just go back and watch previous episode. All that about you. Free trade Friday, very simple. You just get to trade alongside our team. Okay, a private community. You get access to the Google Meet link. Delay free ad free, and you see my full screen. All right. You give you a little preview. Okay, nice email graph. But even if you short this, if you short this from that downside breaker, where's your target? All right. If someone shorts this, which you can short, that's fine.
Where is your target? Target is gonna. You have to respect these levels, guys. The market will give you what it's going to give you, but if you want more every single time, right, it's going to take more. If you want more, it's going to take more. And the Google Meets link is available in the free tier Discord. So go to smartactrade.com. All right. And join the free Discord. So no string attached, it's posted in there. Okay, so see you're going to get stable at 191.93. We do see some buyers. Okay, possibly protect that 195 level. Apple, see that Apple can start to push back the upside. We're seeing some strength on Palantir early candle the upside. Tesla as well. Keep in mind, Omega Catholic, they've got today's are they're trading on zeros. They have a 0-day contracts today. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of that as always. That 15 is still a lot of selling pressure. Still a lot of selling pressure on it. Retesting that daily, retesting that POG, the bottom of that gap in that daily open, initial response back to downside. Do we have enough fuel? Do we have enough fuel to get below market low and beyond? All right, so this action is reserved for the people that want to trade between now and 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock, okay, after the catalyst, there's time as well. Okay, from 10 o'clock all the way to 10:30, there's a 30-minute window right there as well. Okay, so if you're not trading the first, you're not trading before the catalyst. During this time, you're not clicking any buttons. All you're doing is observing. Okay, you're just on standby. You're watching. What are you watching? You're watching how buyers and sellers are interacting with certain levels. What levels? The key levels. Okay, so that's all you're doing. If you're not trading, you're just paying attention. Do they respect this level? How aggressively do they defend this level? What kind of response have we had on this level previously? What does it take to flip this level? What does it take to reclaim this level? What does it take to reject out this level? All right, so lots and lots of insight based on the level. Okay. WMT flying. Keep long kind of off there. WMT, yep. Thank you, heads up. John G, or WMT. I'm not even to see. Apple starting to get nice and put the upside. Palantir looking good as well. Amazon looks good as well. Let's see if that can be sustained. For someone to put in the chat what SPY's IV is, guys, what's SPY's IV? Okay, so get used to this. Every single day before you take a contract, look at the IV first, look at the sprints every day. Okay. So I can see what the IV is, but I want you guys to get used to looking at that first. That's the temperature. Morning, Brian. Morning. Yes, go on the chart. Let's go on the chart. One minute chart. Good. Okay, and back and forth, Don't have any swings. I know Sancho had some puts. Congratulations, Sancho. Whenever the market is falling aggressively, count on Sancho to be in the puts every time. So congratulations on doing due diligence. Taking the risk. Okay, taking the risk. On your broker. So where do you find IV on your broker? The options chain, whatever broker you use, the options chain. If the options chain of CIV. So some early candidates, the upside, Amazon, Tesla, Palantir. Palantir got beaten up for all week. So let's see if there's some dip buyers on Palantir. A spot jam between that dead outside breaking that PML. Let's see if there's some kind of separation. There's some sellers up there, there's some buyers here. What gives? Buyers here, sellers here. Still a lot of selling pressure on the hourly, some selling pressure on the respective 15s. Small caps starting to get you a nice little bid. So that's gonna be on watch as well. And look at the 190, 298s on IW, even close on. Let me first get my watch yesterday. Get that watch list. If you don't trade zero, don't start trading zeros today. Don't start trading zeros during summer. All right, stick to your usual contracts. All right, we're picking.
Normally,
IWM. Calls, push the upsides, and then there's some signs of life. Also, Amazon showing some signs of life, the upside, so except early candidates, okay. 230 Amazon calls, I'm gonna call sign that. Also Tesla. Tesla's been getting beat up. Tesla's Amazon chart, go to the hourly, they're trading in a bearish channel. All right, so if you take a look at both their charts, you can start to see something there. They're trying to seek that resistance, that bearish channel, they can get to the top of that channel.
Right now, we're doing top wick higher. Explosive green candle. Right smack dab in the middle of the range. Don't diddle in the middle. Blast off green candle. 100 points right there. They went top wick, 100-point green. So if that's a signal not to jump in, I don't know what is. There's appears X is down temporarily. P. Diddy. There you go. 800 million put sold, 800 million call sold, neck and neck. We have multiple top wicks, bought up every time. If they claim 376, we're going to 450. 450, up and away, baby. Up and away. Haven't taken a trade yet. Another sweeping top wick. Coming down. 50% test. Willed by the drum. All right, so we have this little range, choppy-ish day. We're not really, it's not as clean as yesterday. Obviously, yesterday was extraordinary. There's an engulfing red candle all the way back down. Can't claim the highs, can't claim the lows, and we're back to the Diddy. We're doing the Diddy and the Middy. Massive red candle. 130 points. Tremendous amount of call selling, put selling. Large red candles. So far, this is explosive. Big volume before the overnight low. Would you ever take a play there and wait for it to go to the overnight? No, I would definitely. It's just the volume here is not that much. This is a massive green candle all the way back up. 100-point reds, 100-point greens on the 1 minute. This is
dangerous to play at the moment. There's no clear winner. There's no clear extension. They're just swiping this thing all over the place. Riding like a bucking bull right now. Yeah, that's why I mean, I'm not in any rush to jump in a trader. This is gross. Gross. Literally 100-point Uno reversals on the 1 minute. Just sweeping 100 points up and down. Not touching it. I'm gonna have a good weekend. My favorite holiday next week of the year. Massive green. I can't tell if this is going to break out or not because this is just back and forth reversing. Most likely. I don't know. The options aren't telling a good story here. There's a tremendous amount of selling on both sides. There's a red candle instantly bottom wick to the tune of 50 points. Back and forth only slightly down, no follow through at all. Yeah. I'm just starting inversing every big sweeping word it candle actually made plenty. There you go. Break out the tannerite. Yeah, buddy. How am I going to celebrate? Well, I'm in the process of building mortar racks, and I built my first one yesterday. I've got 3 more to build. So ultimately, we're going to have 250 shots of mortars to celebrate the 250th anniversary, and then a bunch of those boxes that you like. It's in series. And then I'm going to launch off 100 pounds of tannerite with a 5-gallon jug of gas on top. Although I may not do the gas, it's been a little dry lately, but I'm going to do the tannerite. Kaboom. Right. Sweeping top wick all the way back over. I mean, this is like riding a bull, man. Like riding a bull front towards enemy. Yeah. I wish I could light these off at the IRS. Another sweeping red candle. I have no idea where this is going, people. No idea. What's up, Compulsive Adventure? How you doing? Sounds like the best fireworks show around. Am I streaming? Am I streaming it? No. I guess I could. I could stream it for the Discord if you want. I do have a pretty decent camera. Sweeping top wick again, bottom wick back up. All the way back over. Street it, daddy. Another sweeping bottom wick after a top wick. Just bucking bulls back and forth. This is literally just set a stop and get it at the extremes. This is the back and forth price action that can wreck accounts. Yep, I'm not touching it right now. I'm good. If I see something fun, I will post a trade and we'll get to cranking. I made a good amount of money yesterday. I've taken third payouts with my 5x copy trading accounts on Take Profit Trader. Best prop firm in town. Make sure you go sign up. Hopefully they'll pull me into a live account like my boy Disciple over here. I promise you, if you wait, this will break and you will be rewarded for your patience. Another sweeping bottom wick. We have $1 billion puts sold. We have 600 million in calls sold. This market gave us a big green apple. OM said, don't touch it. And I said, don't touch it. Don't think about touching it. That's a great movie, by the way. Maybe I'll see your celebration from Colorado. Yeah, buddy. Are y'all allowed to have fireworks in Colorado? I'd hate for you to have to celebrate America. Another massive bottom wick again. The fact that this is not retracing back to the lows and still defending this, I guess just below the 50, some random level, I would probably say it's gonna go higher, but I don't know. Usually, if I'm looking for a lower price, it's got to at least start retracing and showing some seller strength. But the sellers can't really go below this 250 mark. Now, if we start taking out, like we're already coming back down, I have no idea. Right now, there's nothing really that great of confidence. I'm not looking to do a lot here. So if I see something, I'll sling it. I think we're getting a big move of momentum phase. They got to shake out everybody first. I think you're right, almost Kodiak. That's why I'm gonna chill and wait for something that really starts to tickle my fancy. My fancy needs tickling right now. Large red candle again, back and forth. Still holding right at 29,290. And another bottom wick. Insta bottom wick, insta red. This is disgusting. This is a iron condor day so far. It feels like they're trying to bring in bearish sentiment. Yeah, that's what I question my transition to swinging short here every morning because of that theme. I feel like they're trying to bait me into a short position. That's why I'm really, really, really being patient. Because this is awful, as my mom used to say. And we have someone here who writes. I have to be loving today. Yeah, Mojo writes a lot. I used to. I need to be doing more of it. Chris does, yeah. He does a lot more zeros and stuff. I think H. Lopez has been doing some puts. Some sold puts. Yeah, this is garbage right now. Garbage. 1 billion in sold puts. Compression is building. It's going to break. Looking for a condor today? Yes, sir. Here's your 15-minute chart. Nothing but wick, baby. Bottom wick. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's cuatro. Oops, I think. Is German for 4. Compression is building. Who's gonna break, baby? Who's gonna break? Coming up. Another green massive candle. Coming all the way up. This is the top wick coming all the way down. Before I can even give the analysis, the candle's reversing. I mean, it's crazy. But like I said, now that it's not going down and regathering lows, I have to give the momentum to the bulls here temporarily. I have to give the momentum to the bulls. Another sweeping top wick. This is awful. I'd love a sweeping high volume top wick to get me into any move or a high volume bottom wick. Right now we got nothing. 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 Bulls are winning it, so. Massive green all the way up. There you go. Beautiful stuff. Blast off green candle, baby. There you go. Blast off green candles. Up, up, and away. Boom. Told you. They can't go down to regather inventory. So now they blasted. How do you play the breakout? First break, retrace, and then sweep and launch? I mean, that right there. Boom. They just bought up 700 million worth of calls too. And that should tickle all your fancies right there. Ooh, Blast off. Blast off. Blast off, baby. Love it. Love it. 300 points from the lows. Well done, G-Spox. Another 5.8 earthquake. Dude, what's going on? Are we about to die? What's all these earthquakes? Dude, yeah, if I was in California, I'd be staying there, not coming to my state. Something about to blow. Sounds like it. Except you, devious Philly, you can come to my state. Mass off green candle, blast off right there. Tremendous amount of put selling. Never short a dull market. Up and away. Booyah. Blast off. $29, $436, $460. Huge move up. I struggle at this part of when they are at the pullback. I need to work on timing my entries. You, me both. Don't we all? I mean, that's the job as traders, right? Is always working on entries. Very rarely do we get perfect entries. But that's why position sizing is such a big player. You have to weather the crappy entries. I took a fat loss last night on stupid impatient trading. Got back half there. I'm not going to press my luck. There you go. Lock it up. More bottom wicks here. They're back to selling calls after a massive move up. They just rejected the pivot there from 0.8, and now we're coming up to the 554 mark. Massive aggressive candles here. Of course, position size should be primarily your concern at the moment. Massive green. Runners in place. Nice math, well done, buddy. My entries are pretty good. My exits stink. There you go. That's another concern too. We were only one tweet away from the rally. I mean, heck, that's a pretty dang big rally right there. Blast off, and they are aggressively selling puts. This is a put seller's day to crush this vol. Vol spikes on these moves. VIX hanging out under 20. Excuse me. And now they are just using all that to sell the crap out of puts. Juicing it like an orange, baby. All you are is cattle. Ooh, ooh. Move for me, cattle. Where are all these earthquakes? Nothing, just some testing of the HARP systems. Yeah, probably. Eval Pastor and H for the squawk in the market. Appreciate you, Ben. Appreciate you. Thank you. Told you were sucking in the shorts. After all the food I'm going to eat on 4th of July, I'm going to have to suck in to get in my shorts. 29,520. If we take out this, we're going to be coming up all the way to 29,560. If we take that out, who knows, man? You cannot short unless you have a high volume top wick. We do not have one yet. You see, the reason why I was bullish after I saw all the chop was the fact that the sellers could not re-engage lower prices. The essence of the volume of VPA or the 3Cs is just lower lows. Lower lows. If price action cannot gain a lower low price, the sellers are not in control. If it's all higher highs, the buyers are in control. Every single red candle, as aggressive as they were, could not go lower. That tells me that my bias goes towards the longs. That we blast. I try to keep things simple. How do we feel about AOC and Sanders trying to slow down data centers? Stop clock just right twice a day. All of Congress is compromised as far as I'm concerned. That's not believe I agree. I believe it's higher than 95%. I sim for the rest of the day. Really helped me holding the first shot. Nice, Ben. Congratulations, buddy. $15-minute was nothing but bottom weight, bottom weight, bottom weight, bottom weight, bottom weight. We had our German lesson for the day, and that is a test of the bottom weight from 11:30 Eastern PM last night, 23:30, and then we rock it. Blast off. 29,540. 5:30. Sanders has to yell about trillionaires. Yeah. I don't think there's a single person in the history of the world who has turned more people into millionaire than Elon Musk. Either through the stock market or through SpaceX. Gold's about to fly. Let me take a look. Ooh. I don't like those high volume top wicks though, Kennedy. I don't like those high volume top wicks. But they did break out. Might be one of those situations to buy the first pullback, because that is an incredibly high amount of volume. NASDAQ is flying. Still going. Blast higher. All bull, baby. All bull. That's a 400-point bounce from the lows. Up, up, and away. No shorting unless you get any kind of high volume 3C top tick. Until then, it's up, up, and away. Now we're coming up to this pivot, which we just tapped at 560, which is the pivot from 0335 this morning. Right there. Top wick. Right there. Little neuroscience. Your amygdala is a super old little almond-shaped part of your brain that's responsible for threat detection. Prefrontal cortex is responsible for executive decision making. The more it's used, the more stronger it becomes, like a muscle. If it's unused, it atrophies and its power is reduced. In between, you have the hypothalamus, the basal ganglia. Sorry, this is a family channel. Can't be talking about ganglias. The hypothalamus, something gets the heart rate elevated. The basal ganglia gets ready to run the habit. So think of I'm struggling to read this. Sorry, these are a lot of big words. So think of a submarine. Amygdala detects the threat and sounds the alarm. The hypothalamus is like a raise the heart rate, make the hands sweat, everyone at the ready. You need Sean Connery in Red October. You need calm, cool decision making. Just maybe do the same crap that blows you up every time. I like it. I like it. It's good stuff. I'm a big believer in reinforcing those emotional habits. I guess that's why positive thinking is so important. Why proper decision making, cool, calm, collective decision making is so important all the time. Not freaking out. 29.6 coming up straight up. No high volume top books yet, so of course no shorting. We have tremendous amount of put selling, and now we have call buying to tie into the put selling. So this is pure tackling fuel. Now, what happens the day after? Do they sell it back off again? I don't know. If I have a high volume top tick, I will include a possible short position. But until then, no sorry, Bob. Trump posted that the United States will have an economic boom like the nation has never seen before. Still straight up. This is straight up squeeze price action, baby. This is not the type of price action you want to short until you have a little bit of a volume top weight. I'm waiting for the economic boom to schedule my bathroom reno. 30K is too much. Dude, everything is too much for everything. Right here. 905, would you have considered that a high volume top weight to look for exiting? You talking about 905 Central Time? Obviously, in hindsight, it is reversed, but if it was a position, I feel like it would have got nervous with that. So, I mean, it depends on the environment. If we're talking about 12:30 in the afternoon, I'd probably say, yeah, that would be a high volume, but this is currently high volume. Usually we get a lot of high volume spikes right about here, 10 o'clock, 10:15 Eastern, somewhere around there. So no, I would think this is high volume. This candle here at 10 o'clock is high volume. I would consider that high volume. But this, not really. And of course, the price action would depend on how I would really translate that. But no, remember, I don't want to exit only on high volume if you're long. I want to exit on high volume plus bearish price action. Bearish price action includes one or two things. It includes sweeping top wicks, lower low pricing. Those two together are going to get me performing a bearish thesis to get either into a short or out of a long position. the bottom wick. Still no shorting. Still going. Nothing but put, selling, call, buying at the moment. And price action is straight up. We have no high volume top wicks. The 5-minute has no lower lows. In fact, they defended any kind of major 3C if you even wanted one. And up we go. So still no shorting at all. Unless you get exactly what you want to see it straight up. Straight up. I'd like to finish the month out strong. I'm still seeking out one big payout. I haven't had a big payout since January. It's been just a bunch of small stuff, anywhere from a couple $100 per account. Sometimes I'll grab a couple of 4 figures per account. But I'm talking a big payout. It's been a long time. I play too conservatively. That's the whole point of me going with 5 accounts, is trying to inch my way into a home run. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Another earthquake in Nicaragua. Dang. I did. The slow way is the fast way. Yeah. No volume here. Told my wife to prepare for the big one. That's what she said, and rolled her eyes. People in California seem to always forget about the big one because earthquakes in their minds seem to occur in poor places. Google says that all major earthquakes are pure coincidence. I'm starting to worry. Yeah. So we have more earthquakes, man. It's crazy. My wife. Oh man. Still going 29,600. 29,600. No shorting. No shorting. Play the 3 C's if you're going to play the 3 C's. You're either a 3C trader or you're not. You're a VPA trader or you're not. Speaking of which, after the stream's over, we're going to be conducting our tier 2 breakdown of the 3 C's questions. Examples, we're gonna deep dive into it. Nothing else. We're not gonna discuss anything else except tier twos. Gold blasting higher, man. What's oil doing? Kennedy was right, man. Well done. Well done. Well done. Where's SPX at right now? He bought a bit of physical gold last week. Very nice, very nice. Shiny. 600. Could be possibly starting a distribution. I don't have a lot of volume though. Same concept, you need lower lows to indicate right side of the V, otherwise up and away. SPX has erased their red day. They were down 2.5. Now they're up 0.3. BS hit this level once again, 774.23. So YouTube, how you doing? Another one of my videos began to pick up steam yesterday. Notice my analytics. People want to learn the DPA, baby. Nice, Proggy. Well done. You have now been pinned overall since about 10 o'clock. Oh, holy smokes. 100-point green candle out of nowhere. Wow. No shorting unless you get a 3C. This is blast off with cheese, baby. Blast off with cheese. Wow. Where'd that come from? I don't see anything. Oh yeah, that's just pure on baby. All juice. They killing all the puts. Yeah, I mean, it's the puts are straight up, straight put selling. Straight up. Is war over again? Dude, we have heard a lot about Iran and all this. Is that completely gone finally? Primal and Toptic. I don't. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's not as big as a conflict as you would think, but I mean, it is technically a high one top tick. It's just, man, I don't really want to even consider shorting this until I see something to get me excited. Otherwise, long onlys, baby. M&M is going to be releasing M&Ms without artificial dyes for the first time in almost 100 years. Nice. All right. 650. That is the highest volume candle of the day right there with volume. We have selling in the same day was super good. Yeah, definitely. Flipping national crisis. Don't try to today. Let's do these for stage like. So, hey, any more stuff on the sake of still get works? What's going on? Success. Thinking about last system, I gotta look at something else. Either it was gonna be an extraordinary day. Scott. Double topic here. Seven. Oh, about the computer crash, heck yeah, man. Lotto puts? No, not lotto puts. No, I'm not gonna do the lotto puts. But I'm just gonna get ready for a possible set. If I have volume at the top like that close, I'll consider a position after this blast higher. I don't know though. I think here's the deal. What's been happening the past couple of days is a complete shakeout in buyership. My job is to determine what that shakeout is going to lead to. We've had a lot of fun logging. Not to say that's not going to continue to go. Yeah, it's beautiful. You guys feel. Very beautiful furniture. The names that have been rotated will start to move up heavily. Yeah. It's 10:30 Eastern time. Got about an hour until London close. Right here. A long way is a good description of where it is. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. $1 billion in calls sold, and they're trying to trickle off into a little bit of a. I don't know. We do have the highest volume candle that came in right at the 29,665 area. That is a 500-point bounce from the low of the day. Tremendous bounce after a bullish breakout where the markets failed to put in lower lows. So we discussed that through there. Bullish thesis once the price action began to show its face. And then here we are. I mean, a blast off straight up market, but we just put in a high volume top tick. With Trump promising that we will be in millionaires by July 4th, what do you think about a few weeks out NASDAQ SPY calls? That will probably pay Dalai Lama, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure yet. I'm wary of SIG ever since they brushed off the P320 misfires. Yeah, that 320 is nasty. That's scary. I'm going to hold short up here, but I want a 100-point sweep candle in the face. Well, I think that's what we just got. I could be wrong and it could continue to go, but I think that's what we just got. That 1020 candle was a 100-point move on NASDAQ with tremendous volume. I read Psychic is, oh my gosh, yeah. Nice little move here, coming down. See what we can do. Can we get a lower low confirmation for a 3C? That's what we're looking for. Can we get a 3C? If NASDAQ engulfs that red candle with volume, we might have the possibility of a downside trigger. That's what we're looking for. Maybe. Maybe. We have a tremendous amount of call selling. They're starting to pick up put buying. We have a 600-point move on NASDAQ. I love entrepreneurship, man. It's good stuff. If anybody else is an entrepreneur, I'd love to hear your stories too. 100%. 100%. Brand new Discord member as of last night. I connected the Discord server through the website, but I only see the free stuff. Do I need to do anything else? Yes. So if you are new to the WAP, make sure that when you go into your WAP profile, which links to the Discord through the website, you have to link your Discord server or your Discord profile. Otherwise, it won't auto connect. I've got everything set up where once you pay and sign up, it auto connects and auto assigns you into the Discord. Thank you for today and this week. Keep up the great work. You're welcome, Chester. You're welcome. I had a 365 XL and they updated to a flat sheet with my favorite. Are the Qs 1265 contracts? I don't think they are. I don't think they are. SPXs, NDXs, but I don't think Qs are. I could be wrong about that. I need to look it up. There we go. 7423. Thanks, Slater. Appreciate you, buddy. Shoot me a DM if you can't figure it out too. Although I've got a tremendous amount of DMs, so I gotta do those. Might have to think my NDX contracts. Chicken talk. My kids went out to feed our egg layers yesterday and found the rooster's neck broken. Ooh. Not sure if it's a rooster or a raccoon or a mad neighbor. Interesting. I have seen the hens gang up on the roosters too. So if the roosters being a little too aggressive, the hens will come after them. I don't know if that does it. All right, so can ES get under 74.18? That's the question. Can it get under that right here? $74.12. This is our decision point right here for the S&P. NASDAQ or S&P has got to get under this 3C trigger. Well, actually, technically it is already a 3C trigger, but this engulfing candle would go huge for a pullback, 74.80. Huge for a pullback. We have 1.1 billion in calls sold, and they're in the process of selling puts. I'm sorry, buying puts. Coming off a little bit of red. Nice stripping red candles. Dropping. This is the trigger. Sorry to ask again, what should be done to transition to the website? Go to theoptionsmillionaire.com and sign up for the website as if you are a new customer. Then shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM, and I'll get you your old membership on the old website canceled and squared up for you. Coming off. $74.15. What's the 50% on this? I've caught nearly every penny of this so far. And I'm looking for a continued. $74.15. Can we get the 7,400 mark? Still coming down. Am I short yet? Dude, I shorted the tip top. I told you I'll be posting in the trades channel from going forward. I'm sorry, that's not it. That's not the trades channel. There you go, right there. Coming off 74.13. Can I get 7,400? On down, baby. On down. Just like 2021, baby. We're having fun. We're having fun. Oh crap. I forgot to shut off the stupid YouTube stream. You freeloaders. You freeloaders. I'm gonna give you all 10.99 for free streams. Might as well be income. Might as well be income. Get your price. All right, coming off again, 74.10. Can we get, if I get 7,400, this would be a pretty good day. This would be a pretty good play here. This would be a pretty good play. We're almost there. Oh, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that high volume bottom like there. Do we get another tweet? Stupid 10-point bounces. That's the nature of this market, baby. I'll take it. Nasdaq 500. Y'all got quiet on me. What you thinking? What y'all thinking? How much I'm going to pay in taxes? Come on, I'm trying to have a good day. John, I don't want to think about that. Man, I can't imagine people trying to short this market in the past 3 months dealing with these constant bottom wicks. This would have been so aggravating. This would have been so freaking aggravating. It's all right. That bounce is right at the 10 o'clock bounce earlier, volume high. Yeah. And we had a volume uptick there too. Yeah. Should have held my 650 short. Made my money, felt my heart racing, don't like that, locking myself out, nice. And they started buying back the calls there, so. Massive rig candle, I like it. Massive rig candle. I'm out too, volume, nice hydrant race. Yeah, I don't like when the hard race is trading. I only like when the hard race is when this is the show. Fun working out. All right, I'm out the rest. I'm out the rest. Now, bidding 62, I'm just looking to see if we can flush down. There are some imbalances down there.
Can I get cash out? You're letting them be independent, but if I need to check, I can.
Go through over and over and over and over and over again.
Right. There are some bids down at 425, which I would like to visit. If paid myself a little piece there just in case they hold this over imbalance. I'm in scout mode now, mentally having to like shift my mind. Main longs and short, main shorts, and short side focused all the time we're rejecting up here. Right? Long, you can be long focused if we hold the bid down here. We're in a range rotation right now. Nothing's changed, right? We're rejecting previous day value area low. I want to be short against this or a rotation, regardless of what Khan or anyone else says, right? We reject value. We're looking for lower prices, regardless of what anyone else teaches you. This is a fact in the market. We reject value. We look for lower prices. Okay. We've got to be careful. This node here has confirmed they're willing to hold a bid, and this is value area low for the current week. So in here, they can try and catch a bid. So we try and get short here for this rotation. We take profit along the way. If they want to dunk it, great. What we don't do is bid up, all right, here. We do not bid up here in the market. Let the big boys do that. We don't do that. We can get in their tails if they refirm and hold up. Be careful of Khan's advice. Yeah, well, he is unlike me, who eats stops and says when I've got something wrong, and then gets the winner when I'm patient enough. He'll give a comment and then walk away when he's wrong, and say, "Oh, I didn't take that, or I didn't say that, or I didn't do this." I can tell you, Khan will be like Elizabeth. He'll be fucking red the last few days, and big red the last few days. This trade works out for me. It'd be quite nice. If it doesn't, it'll be okay. Still trying to break down here. They're starting to get very tight in here. You can see this is control now. So Excel 220 is your overrun. Right? If we flush under that, we can make a new lower day. If we keep bidding up, we'll go back up to previous day low. This is like a big moment in this month. Next stuff, just another stock to that. 4.25%. Huge. With a POT flip, not really, it's just that we're moving fair value higher. Fair value was here, we're now moving it higher. So this is just the much traded level there. So buyers and sellers are agreeing that this is fair price. You can see
you're going to develop. In fact, I'll know.
Main thing I'm looking at so far is this.
Right, now, if they hold this on H1 of the new H1 bulbs in 10 minutes, it's a fair. With that, hold it. This rotation. Right, that's why I'm watching the H1 right now. We're at sensitive time because we've got 10 minutes left of this H1 bulb. Okay, back out of this now. And we wait and see how we react to value again. All right, semis reclaiming T20s. You can see such a big dance here. Huge dance here. How this H1 bar closes is going to be very, very, very important. 12 minutes left, or 11 minutes left now. I'm going to refill on this coffee. I'll be right back. That ejection up there. Big seller up there. What's this yet? Timing this is going to be like yesterday. It's going to be very hard now. No, they're chopping this around here. Semis 220 reclaim. They're going to go test 224s by the look of it here. Use this ping pong from that sort of pre-market high shelf. Just the after hours lows. We just stuck in that no man's land. This is so much like yesterday in terms of where we get stuck between two key levels. Got to wait for an extreme here, I think, to develop again. Become 17 plus 24 shelf. The previous day low is 25. Now strength of 25 would be very, very bullish for it. I've become a scalper. Like I said, like I'm trying to change my mentality now to scalp in this market. We're not seeing follows through. Another big seller up here into the top of this node. I still don't trust it right now. Right, there was that test of 224s on the SOXL, and it got absolute clapped into that move. Just don't want to be early in this node. If we vacate the node, I'm interested, but I don't want to be early in it. I do want to be sell side in this if we start to vacate. Right, let's see if they often fail or not. If they protect this node, this is key now. Semis into 220s. This is really key now. This is 5. I want to sell this if they pop up to sort of 25, 30, some fail. Not
See it pop up, get sold into. It comes 25. Next up, sell, and risk on small side there. They reclaim 25 and take a price. Otherwise, the break 500 is good. Chopping around towards my entry here. We need to break 500 and then XO. Stops break even. Here we go. Thank you. Right, you can be scalp mode here if you want. I'm going to try and get a bigger wash. That's exactly what I was looking for. Up to 25 and failed. Up to 21. Then back to 5s. You can scalp between these two for 20 points if you really want. I'm trying to see if this will break down. Really good rejection of semiconductors where I wanted that. Nice. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Right, we want to leave this shelf and come right down into here if we get very lucky. We will cover some into VWAP. We really want to stay heavy at sort of 505s to 525s where our entry is. Right, we don't want reclaims of that, otherwise it's a small chop. But be in scalp mode. If it's willing to break, you'll have some size on. If it's not willing to break, it is what it is. Let's fucking go. Good rejection up there. Can we get some follow through? Watching the tape carefully because I don't want to see Mr. Bid come flying in like he has every time I've looked for one of these. Looks good. Go away, Mr. Man who's just come in there. Go away, go away. Don't like that. Reduced my size a little bit here. I don't like this guy who's just come flying in. Yeah, he's trying to support it again. Reduce size. Add factor. This is how I like to operate when I'm seeing stuff like this. We're trying to support 500s now. Demi's still fucking 200s. Look like we're going to fail, but they're holding on for now. Still in it. I'm just smaller size. Should be careful because we're trading around heat pots in some areas to trade. Someone is absorbing that edge on 90s. We can't even fill. There's some 0 prints to fill all the way down to 68s, which I'd like to get a partial down here. Here we go. Come on, stop absorbing down here, mates. Go away. Go the fuck away. Yes. Okay, that's the first 0 print. Can we get the next one at 68s? And then VWAP and then lower. Oh my God. It's another trade I've just lost. Another huge trade. All right, we filled the 0 prints, so I'm down a small size. Like I said, I'm in scalp mode now, given what this market's doing, trying to shift my mentality into scalp mode. Out. And can always get back in. Look at the bid again. I want you guys to just try and see this so you can learn this. Look at this. Can you see this stairway? How they just suddenly support once we hit this low, how they run up with it. Remember when I say to you, I want to see like sellers walk down or sellers step up. This is the fastest step up I've ever seen. Normally you'd see these limits down here, like gently move here and gently move here and gently move. It's like this run. This is algo. No one can trade that quick. That's an algorithm. And I don't mean an ICT algorithm. I mean that's an institutional algorithm getting them size on. They will have a set amount of size that they need to buy at an average price on a day. Right? That's just how they work. That's what they're seeing. It's very, very hard to trade effectively when it moves that quick. It moves so fast. Yeah. Like I've been really open about it. I've struggled the last few days a bit more because I've never seen a bid move as fast as it has. Never. I've never seen it. This is new to me. This is something brand new to me, seeing the market move this way. That's why I spent last night when I got back from dinner reading, trying to understand what was going on, understanding the rebalancing. Why are we rebalancing? What's being rebalanced? How much GEX is being traded at the moment? How big is the divergence? What could happen ahead? I think until very late last night doing that in bed, and then I think slept like 3-4 hours because my brain is just like overstimulated with blue light. Looks like a W shape. Not here, not yet. Not yet, mate. A W would be above this, right? I can see what you're talking about. You're talking about this, right? But until we're above that and hold, there's no W's, it's just a build out in this node. Like downside pressure is still available. Upside pressure if they hold this. Absolutely, I agree with you. If we hold above this, we're not seeing that right now. We're seeing a build out of liquidity right in here. And you should knock me out together. No. Do you think this could become worse when the algorithms become better? No, I just think like we're going to have a period of sideways. I think we're going to be very, very volatile and very sideways for a while. That's what I think. That's what I think. Very volatile but sideways. So not volatile like big continued pressure. I think big range everything today. Like if you think about this today, even if basically 200 to 650. That's your initial balance. That's fucking massive, guys. That's huge. The IBs used to be like this. This is massive. Absolutely massive. Like to think about the initial balance size today, and if it was a lower day. It's 480 points, best part of 500 points. Yesterday was basically 1,000 points. Guys, this is like unreal. This is not like, and also by the way, this was not 1,000 points over a long time. This was 17 minutes, 1,000 points, and then no follow through until blowbacks. It's it's the market's shifted. It's changed. The environment's changed. The way it's moving has changed. Notably changed from a week or 2 weeks ago. Notable change. Notable change. So we have to adapt. We have to adapt. We have to be, when I've been looking for 100, 200, 300 point trades, now I need to be looking for edges, pay myself quicker, edges, pay myself quicker, edges, pay myself quicker. Like I've said this morning, like we caught this flush. Right, we caught this flush. I tried to get an add in here and got punished for trying to add. Right, so we don't do that now. We don't add now. Now we take this, we're locking profits. If it melts, great, further great. If it doesn't, ignore it. That's what I'm trying to tell myself now. Have to adapt, right? It's key to being in a market. And these are not like this is not a great market for me. So the other way I have to adapt is be less aggressive and trade less size. I've pushed size especially the last month. The last 3 weeks, I've pushed size. I've had a big month. I've had a big year. Best year I'll ever have. So I want to be careful now, because if the market environment changes like I think it has, and I push size, I'm going to give a lot of that year back. And I don't